Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are doing great on this Monday. Yes, Monday morning or evening. Sorry, I said Monday morning. I'm thinking about what I have to do tomorrow morning when I get up. That's why. But anywho, I hope that you guys are all doing great and all that good stuff. I checked in with you guys. I believe it was Saturday. I think. Um, I don't think I read last night, did I? No, I was too tired to read last night. So yeah, it was Saturday night. Last time I checked in with y'all. But anywho, for those of you who are new to the channel, I hope that you like what you see here. Decide to stick around. Um, Definitely appreciate you guys for popping in. And yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit the like button. Um, Notification bell, all that good stuff. And if you've been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. I do see that one of my sisters are in the building. We got Aya Inspired Tarot. Hey Veronica, hey girl, hey. So always greatly appreciative of her when she pops in. I saw 123 when I looked up. Um, Between her, my other sister Lati, and some others as well, I've got such a great soul tribe, and I'm so grateful for you guys. So we're not gonna, do too much of a spiel like I always do in the beginning of my readings. Y'all know how I get down. For those of you who know, you know. Little chatterbox over here. But yeah, so as you guys saw in the title, this is a self-love and self-care reading. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I felt really drawn to do one. I was driving this morning to work, and I just thought to myself, like, wow, you're making like these little subtle changes, in your life right now, very subtle when it comes to like self-love and self-care. And I was like, feeling kind of inspired, no pun intended. Feeling a little bit inspired, and I was like, you know what, maybe later if I feel up to it, maybe I'll go live. So when I got home, I took care of a few things, and then I cooked for myself, which was nice. Some might be like, oh, well, what you made for yourself wasn't technically healthy, but it felt good to do it, so it is what it is. I made myself a steak dinner. It was delicious. I haven't made myself a steak dinner in a minute, so I felt good about that. And I shared it with my mom, so that felt really, really good. Um, but yeah, just doing little things, little subtle things for ourselves, and being able to, honor ourselves where we are, and between taking good care of ourselves and just doing things that make us happy on a daily basis, like, that's really important. And I'm noticing that more and more. Like, another thing too, Aya, aka Veronica, we are buddies on our little app that we use for like self-care and stuff. It's called Finch. And she put me onto it, and that's sometimes for me, that's one of the things that pops up, is doing something that makes me happy every day. So it's a really nice little tool. If you guys ever wanted to download that, it's free. So it's like, why not? It helps you with, especially if we have like, ADHD or different things like that, have a hard time prioritizing things, including self. Like, it's a great little tool that you can use. So again, it's called Finch. You've probably seen it pop up on like your social media, because it's been kind of getting a little more popular lately. But anyway, I'm not gonna go too much into a spiel like I always do. I'm gonna start pulling some cards. So let's see, which one do I want to start with? I think I want to start with these. The Shine from Within deck. I really like this one. So we're just going to start here. All right, Spirit. What does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? Clear some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. So I'm going to get like 3 from here. And I have like a couple of other like self-love, self-care decks as well that I'm going to pull from too. And then we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper, like maybe some of the origins and things like that, to do a little bit of a deep dive as to where this energy is coming from. The card already kind of spilled out, so I'm going to accept it. But shuffle maybe 2 or 3 more times. I agree. I agree. You know, it's funny. Like, even though I know your actual name, I still call you I. All right. So the card that came out like while I was shuffling, I'm like, I'm just gonna accept it because it like spilled out like it was meant to be seen. So I'm gonna take it. We have change one thing today. Start small. So yeah, every little detail, right? Every little thing counts. The smallest little details count. And I'm also getting like celebrating your small victories as well. Um, you know, I myself sometimes have a hard time with that. Like I'm the type of person where I'm always like trying to see the, you know, so far in advance, and if I don't see any results happening, then I start beating myself up. 555, and I've been seeing that number all day. When I said that. Um, yeah, so you might be seeing the number 5 a lot or the number 10 a lot. Let me know if that resonates. But yeah, it's definitely giving me like this energy of, you know, taking small steps towards, you know, bigger goals. Whatever that may be, you know, sitting down and, you know, putting pen to paper and being able to, and like even in the picture, like, you know, it looks like there's like a planner. Yeah, there's a journal there. I'll show you because I don't think I showed you guys thoroughly enough. But like there's, you know, there's like a little calendar in the back and a pen. You know, there's a journal there, so that just being able to write your thoughts down or your ideas and, you know, so on and so forth. Um, I didn't even see this was on the bottom of the deck after I stopped shuffling, but look what's here. Spirit ain't playing. Celebrate yourself, you deserve it. I didn't even see that there. I was saying celebrating your small victories. I didn't even know that was under there. That's wild. Surround yourself with your soul tribe. Yes, exactly. I know, girl. That's how I feel about this 500 freaking subscribers. You got 2,000, and our girl has like what 8,000 or something like that. Crazy. Release self doubt, let go of fear. I love that. All right, so tell us more. Let's get like maybe 2 more from here. But yeah, celebrating our small victories. You know, like I'm gonna say our a lot because, or we, because I feel like I am gonna resonate with some of these messages in this reading. I think that might be why I felt so drawn to do it. Because like I said, I haven't done one of these kind of readings in a minute, but I felt very, very drawn. Like this is what you need to read about today. Keep your thoughts positive. Yes. Keep your thoughts positive. Yeah, planting seeds of, instead of doubt, seeds of growth into your own head. You know, she has like this wreath of flowers around her head. You know, sometimes we tend to, you know, have these seeds of doubt in our minds, and we, you know, we nurture that more than we nurture the things that are growth. And then we wonder why we're stuck in our positions, right? Why we can't seem to get any forward movement or feel better about ourselves and things of that nature. What we got? Alright, so whatever these are, I'm going to take these because they all came out face up. And then I'm going to move on to another deck. The way they came out, I'm like, I feel guided to pull them. Show off your sparkle and shine from inside, which is the name of the deck, actually. It's kind of funny. Shine from inside. She's also wearing what looks like a rose quartz around her neck. So some of you might feel gravitated towards using a rose quartz. Her spirit might be saying that's something that will be helpful. Because I want to say one of the characteristics, Aya, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say one of the not principles, one of the or it's not characteristics either, but one of the benefits, we'll go with that word for lack of a better word, one of the benefits of wearing it is self-love. So let me know if that's accurate though. I believe it is, but Veronica, let me know or let us know. Treat yourself to something beautiful today. Did I not just say every day, like do something nice and, nice for yourself, something that makes you happy. Today holds unlimited possibilities to see the beauty in life. Love that. Yes. Even when like life gets you down, and like I definitely had a little bit of a moment a little while ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get myself out of this funk, and then I felt better. I'm happy that I did. um ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. If you, if you're anything like me, you might have a hard time sometimes with accepting help or asking for help. I'm really bad with that. Working on it. It's a process. But some of you might resonate with that as well. So, there's nothing wrong with being able to rely on others, you know, especially if you help other people all the time, like there's definitely nothing wrong with that. Practice feng shui, create a sacred space. That's a whole study and stuff within itself right there. Um, like that's about how to place things in your living quarters and things like that. It's like a whole to do, but that could be a great way to you know balance the energy within your home and your living space, um, so on and so forth. So you might want to look into that. Like it. Bottom of the deck we have breathe in bliss, exhale bullshit. I like that. That's cute. Getting those chakras balanced. So some of you might resonate with the idea of maybe doing some chakra work, meditation, breathing. Commit to self-care rituals. Yeah. Doing something. Some of you might have, just looking at this real quick, this could be a message for me. Some of you might have like puffy eyes or dark circles under your eyes. I definitely do. I'm sure you guys can see that. I've had those for so long. But it goes to show that for way too long I have not been getting the adequate rest and things that I need. So saying some of y'all might be the same way. Slow down and rest. You need it. Yeah. So some of you guys really need to get some rest. Spirit's definitely calling you guys to work on that. Your inner self as your inner higher self as well, calling in that energy for y'all. All right. So we're gonna look at the sacred self-care oracle. Ooh. Ooh la la. Wasn't necessarily expecting this. Sex. Some of y'all might need to get some loving. I think there's even a self-pleasure card in this deck. Just for those of you who might not be, being intimate with anybody else right now. That could be a thing too. Nothing wrong with that at all. What you gotta do, boy or girl? Definitely a good part of self-love and self-care. All right, let's get like maybe 3 from this one. All right. Interesting. We have on the bottom, connect with your ancestors. Very cool. So this could be a good time to, I'm getting like, I wouldn't be shocked if create an altar were to show up, because I believe there's a card that says that in this deck. Even if it doesn't show up, I'm feeling it. Become more close with your ancestors. And one way that you can do that is by creating a space for them. So like you can have an altar with like their picture on it that you know, sometimes, pray around or whatever. I want to say pray to, but like, you know, you ask for their guidance and things like that from time to time and things like that, and give them offerings so that they can help you, on your path. So people offer food, and other like libations and things like that. I'm getting something like that. But like I know like I can resonate with that because I feel like I haven't been connecting with them as much as I would like. And at one point I was very, very connected with my ancestors, but I could probably work on that myself. So some of you might resonate with that. What else does the collective need to know at this time? Got two that came out. I'm definitely getting, just in general, being more active will be helpful, because we have two cards that came out. We have Take a Walk, which obviously I know we're all in different areas of the, wherever we live. I'm in the States, so I'm going to say the country, as a layman's term. But like, I'm in Connecticut. So the weather's been getting kind of, a little bit crappy lately. It's getting kind of cold, kind of quick. Um, and taking a walk isn't necessarily, I want to use the word that it's not feasible, but it's a little bit more difficult now because it is getting colder. Sounds like an excuse. I promise that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, like, it is getting colder. So it's also getting darker earlier now that the clocks have went back. So it's like, all these little different nuances, right? So I'm just, overall, I'm getting more steps in. So like, for instance, if you work 1616, as I'm saying this, like if you work in a place where you're able to walk around, the premises, and do stuff in between, to get more active. I'm even getting, for some people, some jobs do offer stuff like this. They might have a place where there's like a workout room or a little gym or whatever. Not every job has that, obviously, but there are places that offer that. So that might be something that could be beneficial. I'm also getting, like, if you can't walk where you are currently, there are these like little stationary, like almost like a treadmill kind of thing. I actually was thinking about getting myself one. I saw one on Amazon for a decent price. And you just walk on it. You know what I mean? So, with the weather changing and stuff like that, it's a little bit harder to, be able to be outside. So, but if you live in an area and or a neighborhood where, the weather permits and it's a nice area to walk, I'm getting something like that. And dance. Dance like nobody's watching, you know? Funny little tidbit. My students, we read we read a book recently, and it was called Everybody Has a Butt or something like that. And it's a really cute, funny story or whatever. And but the kids, like, they're all boys too. They just thought it was the most funniest thing, so they just keep on talking about butts all the time. And then one of my students, he was like, Miss Michelle, are you gonna shake your butt? And I'm just like, and he's cracking up. And I know he means it very innocently, like not like, twerking or anything. Like he's just saying, are you gonna shake your butt? And he's like, they think it's so funny. Does your butt have a crack? Like stuff like that. So funny. Little, 7, 8-year-old boys saying little jokes like that. I think it's hilarious. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm home, I'll twerk a little bit, but nobody's watching. You know what I mean? But, I just thought about that. I thought that was funny. I always share little funny jokes and tidbits about my overall life, especially work related stuff. But, yeah, I think that's, there's nothing wrong with, dropping it low real quick from time to time. You know what I mean? Move those hips a little bit, get that sacral chakra activated, right? We have read here on the bottom of the deck, so some of you guys might resonate with the idea of wanting to do some reading. Unrelated, but I actually was doing a puzzle with one of my students today, and I was like, this is actually kind of therapeutic and fun. I haven't done puzzles since I was a kid, like other than like at work, but like I haven't done one like by myself for leisurely purposes in forever. And I used to do puzzles all the time. I don't know, like, okay, so those of you who know, hey, blessings, what's up, girl? Those of you who are around my age, y'all might remember, but like back in the day, they used to have like those big 3D puzzles where it's like, castles and stuff like that. And I remember, like, I had a couple of other nerdy friends who used to like complete them, and I would help them with it. We have Rest here again. So we have Rest from 2 different decks. So y'all motherfuckers definitely need to get some sleep. Not resting enough, maybe feeling, and maybe even the rest you get doesn't feel restorative. I'm getting something like that. Let's get one more from this deck. Ooh, brunch. Brunch. That's cool. At first, see, this is where my priorities are, girl. I thought I saw brunch, and I'm like, wait, you did a puzzle during brunch? I reread it. I was like, oh no, she said a bunch of puzzles. Okay. Goodness gracious, priorities. Let's get one more from here. Oh, that's funny. But brunch could be something fun. uh, write a gratitude list. And remember earlier I was saying I've been seeing the number 5 all day, like 555, 555 by itself. I saw 505. We have 55 on here. So again, some of you guys might resonate with the idea of seeing the number 5 a lot, or variations of it. But yeah, write a gratitude list. And I don't have to do this, but I choose to do that every day with my Finch app. Something I'm grateful for. And I also do that just in general as a daily practice, even without my app, because before I get in my car, I always pray. Um, and thank God for waking me up, and, you know, for family, for my health, so on and so forth. You know, for getting the rest that I need, you know, so on and so forth, before I go asking for shit. You know what I mean? What we got on the bottom? Intuition. Interesting. What I'm kind of getting with that is, like, especially with the other cards that kind of came out, the more like you're taking care of your physical vessel at this time, I'm getting, is the more you're going to activate that third eye or intuitive energy. So yeah, because sometimes, like, if our energy is off or we're really tired, our intuition can be off too, right? It makes sense. Like, it all, you know, it will throw off your chakras, everything will be out of balance. So you're gonna have, you know, different, you know, ailments and stuff like that that will either be triggered or you're dealing with. And sorry, I heard like some weird shit going on this side of my ear, my left ear. At first I thought it was a siren, but it's not. It's like, it sounded like it went like it's just something like that. It was weird. Like, cause I thought it was like a siren outside, but no, that was something different. That was interesting. Hey, see, I love when my peoples come together. I love y'all. So blessed to have y'all. So blessed. That was interesting how I heard that weird sound like that out of nowhere. So interesting. Make a vision board is here. Which I always love when this one comes up, because it's like, you know, if you're having a hard time like envisioning something, like, you know, you want something but trying to envision it, and like, what's that going to look like in your life, a beautiful way to be able to achieve that is through vision boards. I've done vision boards before. Maybe I should start doing that again, because it's just a great way to kind of, you know, conceptualize what it is that you've been wanting to do, and seeing it, you know what I mean? It puts you in that mindset, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you want to, you know, say go on a vacation to a certain place, group hug. If you're trying to go on a vacation or something, and, you know, you're like trying to get motivated to do it or something, and like, ooh, I want to be, you know, I don't know why I heard Cape Verde. I mean, that's where my family's from, so maybe that's why, because I've been saying I want to go there for a very long time. So maybe that's Spirit's way of nudging me. Maybe put pictures of Cape Verde around and be like, you're going to save up some money. You're going to go. I would love to go to, you know, my family's, you know, homeland and see what that's like. And, you know, I don't know the language, unfortunately, but I would love to have some a nice bowl of kashupa. I would love that. I would love to have that. But yeah, so I did definitely envision, like, maybe some of you guys want to go on a vacation or something. If maybe you have like a goal when it comes to, like, you know, fitness or something like that, you know, being able to, you know, work on concept, like, don't do it in a way where it could be detrimental, though, because that could easily happen as well with something like that when we talk about body image. But like, let's say if you have like a goal, like, weight or something like that. As long as it's healthy, do it the right way. That can help. Like if I wanted to put a picture of myself from like say 3 years ago, I don't think that would be bad. I don't think I would be setting myself backwards because I can achieve that look again if I wanted to, bad enough, and actually did the same shit that I did to get there before. You see what I'm saying? Like I would never look like I did before I had my son, or even after I had my son. Like I will never be 120 pounds again. I don't want to be that small anyway. But the point I'm making is, if it's within reason, right? I don't want to like start pawning off like unhealthy expectations or anything with vision boards. I just want to make sure that we get that clear. We set realistic expectations, and that can be a motivator. So and told me to say that part, that little tidbit. All right, what we got here in the middle? Spend time with friends. Didn't we just say something about like soul tribes or some shit like that? Well, we had a couple of cards from the other deck. There was one that said ask for help from friends, and then another one was something about like soul tribe. So yeah. And what are they doing in that picture? They're fucking doing tarot and shit. So that's me and my girls right there. we need to link up and do something like that virtually. I love that. That's cute. All right. So I'm going to now start reading from the tarot because I'm already almost a half hour into this reading and haven't touched a tarot card yet. This was all oracle cards. I'm just hoping that for those of you who are here, you are resonating with the message and it's making sense. I just saw the Three of Pentacles while I was shuffling. Up, there it goes. So I think I'm just making shit up. But that's about like teamwork. So being around the right, collective, right? Being around the people who, bring a sense of life and light into your life. And vice versa. A beautiful thing to have. Yeah, so people who, look at that. People who inspire you and people who could help you grow. Okay? Like when you have that type of energy around you, like I just got goosebumps. Like the sky's the fucking limit. Like there's definitely something about making sure that you have the right people in your corner popping up in this reading right now, for sure. Let's get a couple more shuffles. All right. Let's see. How should I do this? Should I do a spread? Yes, I'm going to do a spread. I'm going to do let's do a cross of truth. I haven't done that in a while. All right, Spirit. So what's going on overall for the collective when it comes to this part of their journey? Self-love and self-care. What's going on? All right. So this is actually a nice card to actually show up because there was a card that almost came out and I don't know what that card was. It kind of went back into the deck and then this came out. We have Nine of Cups here, which is a beautiful card. It definitely represents a sense of like overall happiness within self. You probably faced a lot of obstacles and had to deal with a lot of shit to get to that point. And now you're able to say, you know what, I'm going to stand on my crown. I mean, on my throne with my crown. I'm going to shift that shit. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Bow down, bitches. Bow down, bitches. So it's like, you see how she has her arms like crossed off, like she's like, anybody who tries to come over this threshold and fuck up with my cups, yeah, no thank you. Like it's not happening. Get out of here. Get in line. You know what I mean? Oh wow. Sheesh. It sounds like you had a rough pregnancy. Gosh. I mean, my pregnancy was, there were some hard parts about it, but it wasn't like too bad. The worst part was the throwing up in the beginning. But like, like morning sickness is only supposed to last for like 3 months. Mine lasted like 4 or 5 months, and it was like all day. Like it was constant. So it's pretty terrible, that part was. And then I also like developed some weird form of anemia where my iron was severely low, and I just pass out. Like I would just be sitting here, like, or standing or whatever, boop, just fall on the floor. And it happened at work, and I passed out in the bathroom actually, and it was about to be opening time, and the manager, she's like, where the fuck is she? Like, we're about to open. She needs to come out the bathroom. And she knocked on the door, and I didn't respond. And then she got worried because I was in there for a while. And then she used the key rather, to unlock the door, and I was on the floor. And then she used like a smelling salt thing that was in the first aid kit. And then I woke up, and she was like, oh my God, you passed out. You were in here for a while. Are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. And they didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't tell them. So, because I had just got that job. So I was like, I don't want them to like fire me or whatever. That would be discrimination. But I didn't want them to like fire me or anything. Like, so I didn't tell them I was pregnant. And then, she was like, I was like, I'm fine. I see like a candy bar or something. My sugar's just low. She's like, no, girl, you gotta go. Like, you need to go to the doctor, and you're not coming back until you have a doctor's note. And then that's when I started crying. I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, why didn't you tell us? I was like, because I didn't want to not get the job. And then I wanted to show you guys that like I'm a good worker. She was like, we know you're a good worker. Like, you're great, but like, you gotta let us know these things. You can't just do that. You can't be up on ladders and shit, picking up boxes. Like, you can't do that. I was doing retail, and she was like, you can't do that. So yeah, you need to go get checked out at the doctor. And then yeah, so I had like a doctor's note that said like I had to, get more frequent breaks and stuff like that if I felt like that, and I had to go on a special pill. But anywho, tell us more, spirit. Tell us like what's going on with this Nine of Cups, because like I said, like there's definitely like, this guarded energy when it comes to your overall happiness, which is not a bad thing at all. But tell us more about that. Thank you. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups here, which comes up as like kind of like a challenge, I guess you would say. And that's why you guys feel the way that you feel when it comes to your overall happiness. You're like, nobody's about to come in and fuck this up. Like, I'm in a good place, like, or trying to be in a good place, and nobody's gonna come and mess that up for me. Like, there's been a lot of pain and disappointments and betrayals and things of that nature. For some of you, it could have been like a marriage or a home situation. For some of you, it could be excuse me, very foundational. Like, I started feeling like this weird feeling in my chest when I said that part, very foundational. Like, it could be like your own like parents and siblings and shit like that. Let me know if any of this is resonating. But yeah, the Tower here on the top, it's giving me like you guys had a really like the foundation of what you thought was like your life was like completely shaken to its core, and that helps you put, sorry, I can't get my words out, guys. That helped you guys put things into perspective about where it is that you're trying to be now. And because of that, again, you have I'm getting like a no nonsense kind of attitude towards your overall well-being and happiness. You're not playing games with people no more. This ain't for play, nigga. look, when I say 3, 3, 3, 3, and then look what's in the middle of the deck. Queen of Swords. She's all about no bullshit. Like, she does not play those games. She will cut your head clean the fuck off. And that's the energy that you guys are in when it comes to protecting your overall well-being and your happiness. Tell us more. What happened in the recent past with the collective? Clearest, most accurate message, please and thank you. If you guys have been resonating with this message, which I hope that you have been, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and haven't done so already, subscribe, please and thank you, and hit that notification bell. I greatly appreciate it, and I would love to see you guys popping in more frequently. And that's the truth. So in the recent past, I'm getting you guys, you saw things very much clearer than you ever did before, right? So just understanding, like in that clear understanding of what it is that, no longer serves you. Whoa. The wind blew mad hard when I said that. I can even see the curtain move a little bit. Anyway, we have the lovers here on the bottom of the deck. King of Pentacles here on the top. And ooh, and King of Wands in the middle. I'm wondering, I'm getting a couple messages with that. For some of you, this is not gonna be for everybody, but one message I just got is some of you might have made like a wrong choice when it comes to what is happening out there. Is it rain? I wasn't expecting rain tonight. Either way, the wind is blowing like crazy right now. Either maybe you made not the best choice when it came to two partners, or the other message I'm getting is you guys, okay, I'm sorry, the messages are getting like jumbled up. Bear with me. So like the second message, like it's kind of jumbled up a little bit. I'm kind of getting like, when it came to like choosing it definitely comes down to like just making not the best choices is what I'm kind of getting. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like some people who might resonate with this part of the message might have had issues with sex, like not necessarily like an addict or anything, but like connected with somebody in that kind of way, which made it harder for you, no pun intended, harder for you to be selective about the kind of ideal partner that you wanted. Somebody who's going to be supportive and, you know, all the things that, you know, are ideal in a partner. I'm getting something like that. And it was like kind of a big lesson that needed to be learned, because, and I can resonate with that. So there's no, you know, there's no beating anybody up or anything like that. It happens to the best of us. You know, I can vouch and say, I can speak my truth and say, yes, in the past I had been in relationships where they were very, very much so based on and around sex, where I thought that, you know, there was more to it than that, and it wasn't. And that's part of the reason why I went celibate for, you know, almost 3 years. And I mean, I went celibate more than once, but like this past time was like for almost 3 years. And I took a hiatus from dating and everything. And I was like, I got to figure myself out. I have to understand, why do I connect with men in this way? Because I need somebody who's going to not just be, you know, somebody who I connect with physically, but we need to have that practical, you know, similar mindset to like what are our overall goals, right? Like we have to be goal oriented, we have to be family oriented. There needs to be a sense of passion and love, like, you know, it needs to be all encompassing, and I did not have that. And let's be honest, sometimes sex can cloud our judgment. I'm very honest on my channel, and I don't have a problem with, you know, talking about my past experiences and stuff like that. Now, will that message resonate with every person? No, it might not. But, you know, hopefully it, for those of you who are watching or watch later, I hope that it is making sense and it does resonate, because I'm picking up on mostly that. Tell us more. What's this incoming energy? Ooh. Okay, that one. As soon as I said, what's this incoming energy? Strength, right? That's about our resilience, our, you know, willpower. Some of you might have Leo in your chart. But yeah, you know, there are certain decisions and things that need to be made. We have the Two of Swords here, and these decisions are not necessarily easy, and part of it could be because of a clouded judgment. in some cases. And we also got that moon energy there, and then with that water back there, the emotions involved, like there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's just about, being really solid, and being able to hone in on what it is that you truly want at this time. Whatever area that we're talking about, whether it's about dating, or if it's whatever the case. I was picking up on dating just a moment ago, but it's gonna be different things for everybody, right? So yeah, this is the time to like really take charge of your own life, Emperor, and be able to say, some of you might have Aries in your chart. um yeah, or even if it's just fire in your chart somewhere. Knight of Wands, like going after what it is that you want unapologetically. And so for some of you that could be dating, for some of you that could just be this really strong relationship with self, and understanding how important that is before you put yourself out there again. And that takes willpower too. It takes a lot of strength and resilience to be able to say, I'm going to put that shit on the back burner right now. Yes, I kind of wish that I had a partner and all of that, but not if they're not going to put me in a position that I want to be in. I mean, there could be other positions that you want to be in, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about like in terms of love. Okay? So, yeah, we're not talking about that right now. So, yeah, we just have to be very, very, selective, right? And right now, Spirit is calling you guys to choose yourselves. Maybe that's why when I saw the sex card in that other deck, I chuckled, because I'm like, okay, ooh la la, sex. But then I was like, even though the card didn't show up, I was picking up on self-pleasure too. So, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. Rose is still out there, and there's other great little appliances now that you can use as well, that are maybe a step above that one if you're tired of Rose. So it's like, do what you gotta do. Anywho, tell us more. I mean, you ain't wrong, Veronica. You ain't wrong. Especially nowadays. Especially nowadays. Tell us more. Thank you. Alright, so we have the King of Cups here. Some of you guys might have dealt with somebody who could have been, this is not, definitive, so it's going to be different for everybody, but some of you might have dated a fire, I mean, not a fire sign. Some of that, well, the fact I'm saying fire sign, that could be the case for some of you as well, but it could have been a water sign who you dealt with in the past, who kind of contributed to where you are currently. And that cycle, it definitely like closed. Okay, let me just show you what I'm seeing, because we have the Fool on the bottom of the deck here. So that's about taking a leap of faith, right? Doing something new, something different, something that you haven't done before. The World is in the middle of the deck, which is about closure and successful completion of a cycle. And then on the top of the deck, we have Six of Swords, which is like moving from the rougher waters and moving from the wall. God, I can't get my words out. Moving from the rougher waters to the calmer waters. So for some of you, you might have dealt with somebody who was a water sign. If they weren't a water sign, I'm getting that there was just a lot of emotion involved, and they might have played manipulative mind games with you. As I started to say that, I did see 4343, and it's giving me like 7 of Swords vibes, because 4 and 3 does add up to 7. So it's giving me kind of like 7 of Swords vibes, which is about manipulation, like mental manipulation. So I'm getting something like that. The other thing I'm getting too, because I keep on like, even though that's water there, I had saw and felt a lot of fire energy before too. It could just be like there was a lot of passion, but I'm also getting like, what happens is like, what does fire and water create, or heat and water create steam. And it's like, I'm getting like this was like the momentum needed. Like I'm seeing like a steam engine. Like you needed that steam, like to power you to push forward. I'm getting something like that. Like I could see it, like in my mind's eye, kind of shit. So yeah, very interesting. I just got a craving for waffle fries. Are you high? Because I'm about to smoke after this. Oh man, that's funny. Waffle fries do sound kind of busting right now, though. I ain't even gonna hold you. Ooh, waffle fries. Tell us more. I love when we start doing this shit on here. We're a hot ass mess. We be saying too much, but that's what makes it. That's what makes our dynamic so great, though. That's what I love about it. Like even before I started doing this, I was eating. Some of y'all probably be like, "Ew, gross," but I was eating olives out of the damn jar. So good. The Spanish ones with the little pimento in it. Oh man, I used to tear those shits up as a kid, and I still love them to this day. I literally took the jar out the fridge last night and I just started eating some, and then I ate more tonight too, and I'm just like, I mean, and I looked up like the nutritional facts. I was like, oh well, they're actually not bad for you. So, it's not a bad snack. It's better than eating, kettle cooked fucking chips right before bed like I did the other night. Anywho, tell us more. Tell us more. This reading is actually really, really fun. Ooh, dipped in nacho queso sauce. Yes, that sounds amazing. Little foodies over here too. Goddamn, spiritual baddies over here. Spiritual foodies too. Oh, I love y'all. What we got? The moon. Yeah. So we definitely got this energy. We have this energy of I spoke about it a little while ago too. There's like fears, anxieties. There might be just stuff like that's still kind of below the surface that is being uncovered, and that could be one of the things that kind of contribute to like this guarded energy. We have the Nine of Wands here on the bottom, and I mean that makes sense too. It's like, again, rightfully so, right? It's like you've been through a bunch of shit and you're like, I don't want to go through that shit again, so I got my guard up. But we don't want to let fears and anxieties take over, right? That's the thing. um Being selective and cautious and stuff, that's one thing, but like being fearful is another, right? So that importance of understanding that factor and that concept, as well as being able to invest in the things that are worthy of being invested in, yourself being the main thing, of course, but also if one of the issues or worries or whatever is love related, um just understanding, like, don't let your fears or anxieties get the best of you, because look what could happen when the time is right. 10 of Pentacles. So I want to know more about that moon card. Tell us more about the moon. Tell us more about the moon. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but I would like to know a little bit more, just to make sure I'm on the right page when it comes to what Spirit is trying to deliver with that. Yeah, see? that anxiety and stuff, it gets you like this. Queen of Swords. It makes you cold and closed off and aloof. And Spirit is saying, just, make sure that you don't be in that space too long, because you don't want to miss out on opportunities, right? Ooh, I like those kind of olives too. So good. I love olives in general. I love olives. But yeah, there are these blessings coming in, right? And it's like when that wheel turns in that right direction, especially after learning karmic lessons and shit like that, look where you get to go. You get to become the Empress. That's a beautiful energy to be in, because the Empress has seen it all. She's been through everything already. You know what I mean? She is very, very headstrong, but yet she's very loving and generous and giving. And she's very stable. She could do everything by herself if she needs to. She's also very confident in herself. She holds the key to all of those powers. all of that energy, all the energy of all of the queens is wrapped up into the Empress. And that's the energy that you guys are going to be heading into when you allow the fears and things like that to, you know, dissipate. Yeah. So is there still some healing that needs to be done? Yeah, and that's perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with that. There's no rush. Four of Swords. We talked about it recently. Like, healing is not linear. You know, I say it all the time on here. You know, it's a process, and there will be ebbs and flows. 5005, as I said that, like there will be ebbs and flows of the healing process. But as things happen, and you know, there's this sense of growth and expansion, that's when you get to see, you know, yourself really start to shine. And it's a beautiful energy to be in. Let's get one more from here. Maybe like an advice piece. I have like 3 more other decks I'm gonna pull from. I'm only gonna pull like 2 cards from each one of those though, probably. But for those of you who are here, I hope you're enjoying this reading. I hope that, excuse me, I hope that you're getting a good message out of it and it's resonating. The Magician, yes. You know, your thoughts manifest, right? So making sure that you keep your headspace in a positive space so that you can manifest the things that it is that you've been desiring and wanting, right? For some of you, it's, you know, you're happily ever after. It might not, and it's gonna look different for everybody, right? Some of y'all want to get married, some of y'all don't, and that's whatever you want. It's about what you want, right? It's not about other people and what they want, it's about what you want. But the hand of the Most High is ready and willing to offer that to you, whatever that may be. Ace of Pentacles on the top. You're manifesting this. And it really does come back down to making conscious efforts and decisions to take the wool from over your eyes and be able to see things clearly and say, okay, these are the steps that I need to take to get there. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull from the Healing Waters next. I'm going to get like 2 or 3 from here. One more shuffle. She who flows. Ease, being open to change. We talked about change a lot because I kept saying I've been seeing the number 5. Go with the flow of life. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, being in that flow-like state right now is important. Ease up a little bit, you know. It's okay to let your guard down a little bit. Let go of the reins just a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. Let's get like 2 or 3 from here, Spirit. The Mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. I like that. You know, you have a lot of inner knowledge and whatnot. Use that knowledge. I'm getting like High Priestess energy, but I'm also getting like solar plexus energy, like trusting your gut, understanding that, you know, it's helping lead and guide you. Follow that. We got on the bottom here, the wishing well. Unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. Yeah, exactly. I was saying, I just said that, then you know, after you go through like the karmic lessons, now you get these blessings coming in once that wheel starts turning in your favor. So that's what's on the bottom of the deck there. All right, let's get 2 more from here. I feel guided to pull 2 more. Some of you might be seeing the number 3, 6, or 9 a lot lately, or variations of it. Let it rain. Allowing what is, inevitability, and trust. Yeah, trust the process, right? Allow things to just happen. That's like, again, going back to that like flow light state, just letting things happen. You know, you can't control everything, but for the things that you can control, do what you can. um Bottom of the deck, we have Selkie. Come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. Yeah, this is a time to embrace your true self. 5454, embracing your true self at this time. Yeah, I'm getting like living very unapologetically at this point. You know, if you've been holding back a lot of on who you really truly are, this is the time to start letting that go. Let's get one more from here. Again, I hope you guys have been resonating with this message. If not, you know, you can always check out other messages on here and see if this is your vibe. If not, it's okay. No worries. And if you have been, if you haven't done so already, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys subscribe. You can hit that like button, different things that can help support the channel. We have Metamorphosis here, embrace transformation. Things are now different. Yes, this is all about all a part of the process of becoming who you are, and this is a time to embrace each and every part of it, every part of yourself, every part of the journey. Yeah, because what's on the bottom here? Birth mysteries. What are you being called to create? I feel like you guys are being called to create this new version of yourself through self-love and self-care. Especially with how that Empress card showed up towards the end of the portion that I was using the tarot for. Let's see. Let's use the Inner Temple deck. I asked Mikey, because I was stuck between two decks. I was like, I don't know which one I feel more connected to right now. He's like, help me. He was like, and he looks at the decks. He's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, which one do you feel mostly drawn to? He's looking out. He's like, I don't know. Might pick the wrong one. I was like, there's nothing about picking the wrong or right one. What do you feel drawn to? He picked that one. So I was like, maybe one day you could come out here with me. He doesn't know how to read, but like cards, that is. He doesn't know how to read cards, but I'd be like, you're really highly intuitive though. Like I can see you being a good reader if you wanted to learn how to do it. Because the thing is, like, he could read like probably oracle cards and, you know, get something from that, and then learn how to read tarot. You know, tarot's like its own little ball game, but he could be an intuitive reader. That would be pretty cool. A mother-son duo. All right, deeper than before is here on the bottom of the deck. That's pretty cool. It's a really pretty card too. Yeah, really diving deeper into yourself. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense because, you know, you're diving deeper into yourself as you discover more about yourself during this, you know, self-love and self-care journey. Got. I got a couple here. So one of the cards that came out is the Beauty Way, along with Inner Spring and Inner Autumn. Interesting. I like that. All right. Because that's like a juxtaposition kind of. So what I'm getting from those two cards right there together like that, I'm getting, Spirit is basically saying like, this is a time to honor the beauty of the death and rebirth of yourself. Like, there's going to be certain parts that are going to have to die. You know what I mean? In order for you to embrace the new, right? You have to, it's like an ego death. Like, you have to let go of certain parts of who you are in order to embrace what's coming through. And it's important at this time to honor the beauty of all of it, not just little bits and pieces here and there, because it's easy to, you know, that's the thing. People think like self-love and self-care is just like all this like happy-go-lucky bullshit, and it's not. You know, it's not pretty all the time. It's not rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and shit all the time. Like, no, it's not. Like, there's a lot of deep-rooted shit that has to be worked on in order to get to this point. So, you know, honoring and understanding both aspects of it, the light and the dark, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between, when you understand that all of it is a part of the journey, and embracing and loving each part, understanding that, you know, this is all this is what's needed to happen in order to get to a certain point, that's when you get to really, you know, see things for what it really is. And they just want you guys to really embrace that. All right, let's get one or two more from here. Hopefully this is resonating. Chamber of manifestation. Nice. So you guys are definitely in this this process of manifesting, which we talked about because the magician also showed up, right? So you guys are, manifesting. And, I like this card because it's like there's like this beam of light coming through. And it's like you, you know, you're doing it. You're doing the damn thing. It's just, it takes time. It takes patience within yourself to get there. Yeah, the holiest temple. Yeah, I like that. The holiest temple. Seeing the divine within, right? Throughout all of this. Understanding that, I'm also getting, between like what I just said with like the divine within, I'm also getting like understanding like you are like a co-creator with the divine, right? Like there's yourself as this vessel and the energy that you possess, but then there's also, the most high, so on and so forth, the universe, so on and so forth. And understanding that you could be a co-creator with the most high when it comes to what it is that you're trying to manifest, as long as it's for you, like, oh, it can be done, but just honoring the fact that you also have and possess that power to be able to do that. Yeah. Spirit. I didn't even see this card. I just now looked at it. Oh my goodness. Chamber of Power. Come on now, Spirit. Now, y'all saw I was looking directly at y'all. I might have looked over to this side a little bit, but the cards are right here, like down here, like on my lap. Like, there's no fucking way that as I'm saying that, this is the card that comes out. So Spirit wants you to honor the power that you possess within yourself. Chamber of Soul Gifts in the middle of the deck. Come on now, Spirit. They ain't playing with y'all. Now you saw how the cards went. That card, it took a while for it to get into focus. I feel like it's because you guys might feel out of focus about yourself. That's very symbolic. So now it's time to focus inward and understand the power that you possess. One more from here. I really like this deck. I like the energy associated with this reading right now too, because it's like very powerful energy. And I know everybody's going through different parts of their journey, but I will say that at the end of the day, you guys all possess such strong positive energy, and it's just a matter of honing in on it and using it for the purpose that it's meant to serve. The burning rose, yes. Taking all of the shit that you've been through and being able to do something, like to be able to turn pain into power, right? To be able to essentially excuse me, I'm gonna stretch my leg out. Sitting like that too long. Sorry, to be able to transmute that energy. Life force, yeah. Giving life to the positive things now. Simplicity. It can all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Chamber of Inspiration. Wow. Guys, you guys are fucking amazing. Y'all need to give yourself more credit where it's due. Just saying. Alright. So I'm going to get some last tidbits from Spirit to close out the reading. Let's get like 3 from here maybe. I did see nutrition here. So they might want you to work on your eating habits. But let's see what Spirit says for these last 3 messages from this deck. Really hope that you guys have been resonating. I'm so grateful and appreciative of you guys for being here. Always so thankful. Alright. Plan your career. Create milestones and have a strategy to set yourself up for success. Now, That's interesting because career is definitely one of those important things in our lives, just generally speaking. I know I can say the same. Many of us can. The thing that stands out to me here, though, is like this person is doing exactly what we were talking about way early in the reading when we were talking about planning things, right? Vision boards and things like that. When you see things on paper and like right in your face like that, it makes it a lot like more likely that you're gonna actually go towards it. You know, I'm definitely one of those visual people myself. Not everybody works like that, but like for those of us who do, like visual planners and things like that are really helpful for you know, planning things or you know, working towards steps, working on steps towards something that we you know feel is important. Tell us more. So career could be really important at this time in your life for some of you. So get like 3 from here. Felt drawn to do 3 like for a few of these decks for some reason. 3 is the magic number. For those of you who know, you know. Schoolhouse Rock. All right, we have past life connection. Someone with heavy influence from a past life is with you. Interesting. Um, could be that like kind of karmic energy we picked up on earlier, that you had to kind of learn from. Could be that. They're also saying, you know, stop obsessing about stuff, whatever it may be, whether it's work related, past person, whatever the case may be. Just don't overthink it. This is like a what is that called? Like a channeled message from this deck. I like when they have these kind of cards in these types of decks. You have special gifts. Never surrender to normal. And we did see a card that talked about gifts a little while ago. So I don't remember which card it was, but we did see it. Don't know where it is now because there's other cards on top. But yeah, we did see a card that talked about special gifts and whatnot. So yeah, honing in on those. So cool. That's really cool. Blessings. Wow. Like I love learning more about you because like, you know, I always see you like on Lati stuff and even on Veronica stuff. So like now seeing you here, I'm like, oh, and I get to see like your comments and you know learning more about you and your experiences and stuff. Wow, you speak all these languages and stuff, and you've been through, you've seen a lot, and it's pretty fascinating to learn more about you. And thank you for sharing on here as well. Love building this little community that we've got going on here. um, Oh, that's, yeah, that would be cool. She could be an interpreter if she speaks all these different languages. That's really cool. We have soulmate here. The divine will provide you with love when you are ready. Didn't we talk about that just a little while ago? When the time is right, there could be some partnerships happening and stuff like that. But right now, I feel like, you know, the main thing is getting in tune with self, right? That love that's within, getting in tune with that, the most important thing right now. I'm gonna get one more from here. I feel drawn to do so. One more to close out. What's the main message for the collective? This last very big important message for the collective to close out, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Ritual. To experience the magic of life, you must first practice it. Now, I did mention very, very early in the reading, I was talking about connecting with like your ancestors, maybe with like an altar or something. But you can also create altars for other things as well. It doesn't have to be for that. It could be for literally yourself. You can create something where you know, you pray there or you meditate, whatever. You could have like your crystals if you read like I do and some of my other girls on here do. You know, you guys can, you know, have, you know, that be like your sanctuary, your safe space, if you will. I'm also getting if that's not really your thing. Ritual could also just be like a really positive habit that you have that is beneficial to you. So, you know, a beauty regimen or whatever, you know, a workout routine, things like that. That could be a ritual too, right? Ritual could mean a lot of different things. It doesn't always have to be witchy or anything like that. Nothing wrong with that if that's your thing, but you know, just saying, you know, for those of you know you who are not into that kind of thing, you know, you could create your own ritual. What does that look like for you? It's just something that you practice that you know is something that you know resonates with how you feel on the inside, like you know, on a soul related connection. Bottom of the deck we have, as I say something about you know those of my friends who read and stuff like that. What we got here? Get a reading. You could call me or any of my girls. Use different, or if you know read on your own, you know, do a reading for yourself. Use divination to understand your desires and your path. I like that. That's kind of cool. um, you are charming. You have confidence in your charm. A lot of people gravitate towards you because they like you for who you are. Very, very, very interesting. Yeah, so it's like, you know, building that confidence within yourself, like being able to see yourself what other people see in you. I myself struggle with that because people always say all these great things about me, and I'm like, I don't see it. I'm working on it, but like, you know, I'm not quite there yet. And you know, look down on myself a lot. I'm a perfectionist, so if I don't get things right the first time or something like that, like, and I have been the type of person for a very long time where I've had this struggle with seeking outside validation and working on you know being able to internalize that instead. It's easier said than done because a lot of us can say that we struggle with the same thing. Let me know if it resonates with you in the comments, or you could send reactions to let me know that you resonate. But yeah, so that's a big thing. And middle of the deck we have feel what you feel. You have the right to feel what you feel, but remember that you all always have the right to be happy. Yes, embracing how you feel in the moment, right? When you're upset or anything, and all your emotions are valid. Always remember that, and honor that, right? You're only human, you know. As my girl would say, how does she word it, Lati? I think you say we're spiritual beings that are living a human experience. So with that said, you know, here in this, you know, 3D world, we experience the 3D shit. So all these emotions and stuff that we have to feel and those ebbs and flows of life, like we have to go through them. And it's okay to, you know, not be okay sometimes and to feel what you feel and just don't stay there, right? Don't live there. So like a little while ago, I was pissed. So the reason why I was so upset is because I almost fucked up my fucking meal because, and you know, here I am like really trying to do something nice and all of that for myself and for family and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to make a nice steak dinner. Like I had this planned, like, and I make mashed potatoes all the time. It's been a little bit, but like, you know, I make some really good mashed potatoes. And I put a little bit too much cream and it was like soupy. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna fix this? I was gonna throw the whole shit out. That's how mad I was. Mikey was like, dude, are you okay in there? I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I was going through my human condition, right? My human emotions, and over fucking mashed potatoes. Like it wasn't even that deep. And I couldn't find my mashed potato masher either. I was really annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, why is it every time I try to do something, then something like this happens? Like, and I definitely catastrophized it a little bit, but like in that moment, I was really upset, and like I said, I was like really throwing like you know a little hissy fit in the kitchen, almost threw the food away. Like fuck this, there has to be some kind of solution. So I'm looking in the cabinets and I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm like, maybe I have a little bit of cornstarch, I could thicken this up or something. Like couldn't find that, couldn't find it. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm trying to throw the whole thing away. And I was like, and I know this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but it did save the day. I did happen to have pancake mix. And I know that sounds crazy, but like the stuff that's in it is the same stuff that they use as thickening agents, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna see what happens. It can't get any worse than this. So I was like, okay. I looked it up. Yes, you can use pancake mix as a thickening agent. I'm like, okay. So let's just see what happens. Hey, babe. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just try it. So I took a little bit and I sprinkled it, and it thickened really fast. So I was like, oh, this is good. Maybe working with something here. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my broccoli, blah blah blah. So then when I tried it, I was like, I know it could have been better if I would have got it right the first time, but I was like, this is tolerable. This is not bad. Like the taste and everything was still there, so I was like, okay, it still ended up coming out good. So I'm just happy I had like this little inkling. Like I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm looking in the cabinets and I'm like, okay, I have all this shit in here. Let me see. I was like, something's got to work. Something's got to happen. We're gonna make this happen. I'm not throwing out this fucking food. It's too expensive. So it worked, and it came out pretty good. Especially once I put a little bit of gravy on the mashed potatoes, it's fine. But the point is, because you guys know that I'm a little bit of a chatterbox on here, and the reading is technically done. Now I'm just bullshitting around with y'all. But yeah, you know, the point of the matter is, it's okay to feel our emotions even when we're upset, like even what is constituted as like or defined as a negative emotion, like it's okay to feel that. So we just have to kind of do what we have to do. We go through these ebbs and flows of life, and even when we have those moments that are not the prettiest, right? We talked about that, because this shit is not always gonna be pretty. Anybody who always looks like they got rainbows and butterflies up their ass, like there's something probably deeply wrong. There's some deep-seated shit going on with them. Okay? Like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I'm being honest. Like, it's definitely important to just acknowledge that we all have different, emotions, feelings, all that shit. And it's okay to allow ourselves to, feel it. So yeah, like I said, thankfully it still came out okay. I was definitely like concerned. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna come out. But then when I tried it, it was fine. I was just I was like, I know it could have been slightly better, but hey. Yeah, that's right, babe. You gotta go with the punches sometimes. But anywho, I love you guys. I'm so grateful and appreciative. What time is it? 9:15. All right, so I got plenty of time to kind of relax and debrief before I go to sleep, because I'm going to get up early in the morning to bring my son to the DMV to get his ID, and it better fucking work out this time, because this has been an ordeal after his stuff got stolen. So this has been a whole thing, and I'm just like, you know what, this is some bullshit. Ooh, turkey meatballs. That sounds delicious. But yeah, so just so I could be mentally prepared for that fucking fiasco. Yeah, we shall see how that goes. I'll keep y'all posted. Ooh, girl, vegan lobster salad. Like, can you please even explain how that works? That sounds good. There's this place in where I live here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, that's called Veganish, and one of my customers works there. Yeah. So they said, I want to say that's what they said that they use for seafood, heart of palm. And I was like, really interesting. I would love to try it, because I've definitely thought about like going like meatless, or at least limiting meat, but not sure if I'm ready to go vegan yet, but because I do love cheese, like real cheese. But yeah. So, all right, lovies, I love you guys again, and I greatly appreciate y'all for sticking around and being here. And yeah, so you guys have a great rest of your night. And like I said, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. subscribe, all that good stuff for those who pop in later. Um, yeah, so we're gonna do this again soon, maybe even tomorrow. We never know. So until next time, you guys have a great night. Mwah.